Today I want to share with you something pretty uncomfortable that happens way too often with PTAs and PTOs, and that is, what do you do if you get a bounce check from a parent, or worse, a teacher? Now, this is something that my PTAs have actually experienced, both of them. So we're going to talk about the easier one to handle, but it's slightly more uncomfortable. And that is what happens if a teacher gives you a check that bounces. So in both cases, actually, you want to be pretty matter of fact and just stick to the points. There's no judgment. Pretty much everybody has bounced a check at least one time in their life, if not more. Mistakes happen. So the best thing you can do is just be really kind, because the person is probably really embarrassed. So with the teacher, you can send them, your treasurer or your president, probably your treasurer, needs to just send a quick email to the teacher and just say, hey, Mrs. Abrams, your check did not clear. The teachers, they're probably super embarrassed, so they are going to go ahead and give you another check or cash like straight away. So it shouldn't be a problem. With parents, it can be somewhat trickier because some parents care and some parents don't seem to care, especially when it comes to like getting their fundraising orders. So if you have a parent who bounces a fundraising order check, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you are not giving them whatever they ordered. In the case of a bounce check from a parent, you want to contact that parent like straight away. So I wouldn't give them time to notice that they bounce a check, because they may or may not be paying attention to that. And your goal in contacting them is to try and get payment, of course. You want to make sure that happens as soon as possible. When you contact them, I would definitely do it in writing so that you have a paper trail established. So you can either send them an email or you can send them a letter. It doesn't really matter. You just need to say, hey, Mrs. Smith, our bank has let us know that, check number 1001 in the amount of $153.16 was returned for insufficient funds. Please contact me to arrange alternative payment methods, and be very specific about where Mrs. Smith can contact you, and also give a deadline. Just say, please contact me within 3 days to make payment arrangements. If she doesn't respond in those 3 days, and you want to go ahead and send another letter and just saying, I'm following up on my letter of May 15th regarding the return check that the Bluestone PTO received. Just be really matter of fact. I know some people get like really upset about this and think people are trying to scam them. It's probably not that at all. They probably just have a lot going on, and they forgot they wrote the check or whatever. Who knows? I don't even want to spend time like theorizing about why they were bouncing the check. And bottom line is that your group just wants to get its money for the merchandise or whatever the check was for, right? So be really matter of fact about it, and you're less likely to get an upset parent who's upset and not paying. In the event that the parent still won't pay, then you probably need to go to your school administration and see if they can help. Sometimes principals are viewed as more of an authority figure than a PTO officer, so don't worry about pulling rank if you need to do that. But of course, be respectful and keep it in confidence. Like at the meeting, don't announce, Mrs. Smith bounced a check with us. That's just not right, because you wouldn't want someone doing that to you, so don't do that to somebody else. But then also, if someone has bounced a check with you, make sure to not accept checks from them in the future, with the exception being a teacher, because I think teachers are they're a different sort of situation, and I wouldn't hesitate to take a check again from a teacher. And so some people have questions about the whole timing, like how long do I wait if they still don't respond? I would keep responding on a weekly basis until they respond. And the other thing that you can do is, if it's a situation where they've ordered some fundraising, and of course your PTO hasn't given the check bouncer the merchandise yet, then you can set a deadline and say, payment needs to be received by at this time on this day, or the merchandise will be donated. And just draw a line in the sand. If you use these techniques, I guarantee that the whole process will be a lot smoother and you can have confidence handling this really tricky situation.